Hello everyone, and welcome to floor 2 of shelf 2 of every physical game I own. So, let's get into it with SpongeBob Lights Camera Pants for 15 bucks. It's a pretty good game. I like this game quite a lot. I like how, there's tons of different cutscenes, different variations on the cutscenes, which are really cool. I like that a lot. Mini games are pretty fun. The only issue is there's this one really terrible mission, or really terrible mini game that I've only gotten to beat once. And it's this soccer mini game where the controls are really terrible and the AI is like kind of tough. And it either becomes the AI just wins, or it becomes like just this terrible like back and forth where nobody wins and it takes like 30 minutes. It's the only minigame I don't like in this, but there's a lot of really good minigames in this, and good cutscenes, and yeah, they got John Leguizamo in to play Sid the Sloth. It's a fish. I forgot his name, but it's literally just Sid the Sloth. Lisp and all, it's the exact same voice. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly for 13 bucks. People hate this game, and I understand why. Playing through it, I noticed one thing. Just like with Metal Arms, and maybe it might be a Vivendi Universal thing, because I think Metal Arms is also made by them. It also runs... It tends to run at 60 FPS, or it tends to run at like the normal speed, and then dip, and then go, then dip, and then go. You definitely notice some dipping while I'm playing this. Like, you definitely notice a good amount of dips in frame rate. But I think it's okay. It's not that great. It's not that bad, though. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's okay. I think it's still fun enough to keep, but definitely not my favorite Spyro game. Not anymore. Actually, you know what? I might say it's better than the second game, because I never really liked the second game. But, I mean, still, nowhere near. Super Mario Sunshine for 60 bucks. You can tell right here, I bought this in July 25th of 2021. So, after the after the Mario 3D All-Stars came out, so I paid the exact same amount for this game than I would for all three games. Granted, I mean, I already own a copy of Mario 64, and I already own a copy of Galaxy, so, but it's just kind of funny when you think about it. I have very mixed opinions on this game. I think, for one, it's insanely difficult to the point of being annoying, but at the same time, there's a lot of stages I really enjoy, and when you finally get that Shine Sprite that was just causing you so much trouble, it does give you a fair sense of rewardment. So, cutscenes are pretty good too. So it's kind of a mixed bag. It looks really good. Cutscenes are good, but yeah, I think the controls need some fine tuning, and of course difficulty. Seriously, this game is brutal, and it becomes not fun sometimes. When people say that's their favorite Mario game, I'm like, how? Like, are you nostalgia blind? Because like this game has some very massive glaring issues that a lot of people tend to overlook. And I noticed that really the only people that actually complain about them is people who are playing it for the first time recently. So, I guess a lot of people are just kind of nostalgia blinded. I'm not, though. This is not my original copy, actually. My original copy I got when I was 12 or 13, and I have a very, very specific memory. Actually, I'm going to say 12. That's a good age. A very specific memory of getting so mad at it that I broke my controller in half. Literally, I was so angry, I went like this and slammed it on the ground and actually broke off the C-stick. So the camera would just constantly be spinning. So yeah, you may say anger management issues. I say this game is way too difficult. But I mean, nowadays I've grown up a bit. I can get a lot farther in the game, but it's still insanely challenging. I'm not going to deny that. So that's it for the GameCube games. That was just kind of the three leftovers from the last floor. Here we have Animal Crossing City Folk, starting off the Wii games. It's a pretty good game. Considering it's only my, like, one of two Animal Crossing games, I'm definitely going to keep it. Although I feel like this is the most basic sequel. So you had Animal Crossing. And then you had, what was the DS one called? Wild World. And Wild World, you know, was the first handheld one, so that's like a big leap. City Folk kind of feels like they just needed to get an Animal Crossing game on the Wii. The city aspect is a very small portion of the game. But, like I said, it's still a fun game. It's still Animal Crossing. I've still spent countless hours in it. Build and Race. The best game of all time, and no one can disagree. No, Build and Race. So, this is not my original copy, but my original copy was a game I got with my Wii when I first got it in 2014. If you remember, there is a long... If you've been a Jab Master fan for a while, there is a... For a long, long while, there is a long been extinct channel called Super Jab Bros, where me and a friend named Hayden would make videos for. And we made stuff like, we made a video on Spider-Man 2, we made a video on Mario Kart 8, don't know if we ever uploaded that. Made a video on Star Fox 64, Punch-Out, my first time playing Punch-Out too. And my first time playing Star Fox. Actually, a lot of first times, when because at the time I didn't have a Wii U, so that was my first time playing Mario Kart. Anyway, the long-lost relic of the Super Jab Bros, there's one remaining video, and it's the first video I have on my channel, which is Jab Master and Hate It Play Wii Sports. That was the original Super Jab... Well, it was a video made with him, and that spawned into the Super Jab Bros channel. But of course, no content has been added onto it since 2015, probably 2016, maybe 2015, early 2016, maybe just 2015. And I think he had the email to that channel, so he probably deleted it by now. Nevertheless, this is one of the videos that we made. This is a insanely basic building editor with not the greatest racing controls, and something kind of annoying is you can't do jumps. Yeah, even though there are ramps in the game detects the floor. Like, you have to be on the floor. So if you make a ramp and try to, like, you know, jump off of it, it'll detect you leaving the ground, and it'll go, oh no, we don't know what you're doing. Yeah, it is a super basic editor that has a lot of flaws. But it was a game I got with the Wii, and I remember spending not a ton of time on it, but, you know, enough. I spent a good amount of time on it to make it kind of nostalgic, and I found that in the $1 bin, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't played this game in, you know, 4 years, so I picked it up. Call of Duty 3, found this one also in the $1 bin. So I'm not the big, well, okay, here's my Call of Duty situation. I don't know, unlike 99% of the people who play Call of Duty, I don't really care for the World War II ones. And here's the reason for that. Most of the World War II ones I've played paint one place as, like, terrible. Now, if you paint Germany as terrible, I understand that. But the other one that I played, World at War, paint Japan as terrible. And I'm like, outside of Pearl Harbor, Japan was just doing whatever other country was doing at the time, you know. But that's a long story. It's my opinions on World War II. my opinions on World War II, most people would find not really correct, which I totally understand. But that's a talk for another time. A talk for another time, not on this channel and not in public. So this one, so far as I played, it didn't really paint anyone as the bad guy, which is nice, you know. And I'm only really... Well, first off, another big thing about these early Call of Duty games, they're normally really challenging. So this one is no exception. This is also very challenging, but basically the only reason I'm keeping it, it's the only Call of Duty game on Wii, and I do like them pointer controls. If this was on any other system, I would have sold it by now. Actually, I had this on PS2 at one point, and I did sell it. So yeah, if this was on any other system, I would have sold it by now. However, in terms of the World War II Call of Duty games, I do actually really like Call of Duty 2 Big Red One, and here's the reason for that. And this will be kind of brief, because this is like, World War II stuff. Call of Duty 2 Big Red One is sponsored by the History Channel, and every cutscene feels like a documentary. It's not about, a fictional character, and he's saying, oh, this the horrible reality of World War II, and I had to go through this, and this is my story. It's not about a fictional character talking about this. It's not, this guy going like, Japan had this huge army, and they were about to gun us down. But we made it. It's like not like this like really gritty, serious tone. No, it's like a documentary. Like, this was a group of people. This is where they went. This is what they were doing. This was their mission. Now play it. And I'm like, that's cooler to me. Just like that kind of perception of like a documentary. I find that really interesting compared to, compared to a guy with a scraggly voice talking about how, war is hell and that all this crap. I mean, I get it, war is hell, but like, I mean, I much rather prefer it to be, more of a historical sense, not so much a, that country was terrible, we need to kill them. It's like, like I said, the only one I'm kind of okay with that is like Germany, because I mean, pretty much everybody hates Nazis. I mean, like, yeah. Anyway, moving on, from Nazis to cars racing from... Moving on from World War II, we have Lightning McQueen for $10. This is a really great game. Not my favorite of the Cars trilogy. I think there's some issues with physics and stuff, but really good. I really like the varied locations and the varied races, and it's pretty cool. The only problem is Chick Hicks is the villain, and I hate how ever since the first movie, Chick Hicks appeared in the first movie, and he wasn't... Yes, he was a villain, but he wasn't, like, insane. He was just very aggressive in his driving. But in this, and in the Disney Infinity playset, they make Chick Hicks as, like, this ultra-villain. One of the lines that I find hilarious in this is, like, when I'm done with you, he's talking to McQueen, and he's like, when I'm done with you, your buck-toothed friend Mater will have to tow you in shame after what... It's like, dude, he's just an arrogant race car. He's not like this ultra super villain. Like, calm down. I don't get why they do that. I love what he did. I love what they did in Cars 3, where he, like, quit racing and just became a sports announcer, and he constantly shows off that he won the Piston Cup. I find that hilarious. Like, that's exactly the type of character I'd expect Chick Hicks to become later on. But yeah, really great game overall, that one. Donkey Kong Barrel Blast, the bane of many people's existence. People just rip into this game. I paid $20 for this, I remember that. But yeah, people just rip and tear into this game, and I understand why. It's very motion heavy and stuff, but I have fun with it. Yeah. I've beaten it through its entirety, and I enjoy it. I don't know. I guess I just like racing games, but yeah, it's pretty fun. I like the gimmicks. I like the banana collecting and then doing like a turbo boost. It's pretty cool. I like it. DreamWorks Superstar Carts. I think I paid $10 for this. I can't really remember. Maybe 15. This game is, well, my nostalgia is for the 3DS version, which is debatably better or worse than this version. In my opinion, I remember it being better. So I bought this one, and it's alright. Frame rate's kind of bad. The races are really open, which I remember them being kind of shrunk down in the 3DS version, which kind of makes them a little bit more intense, maybe a little bit more fun. But yeah, if I can find the 3DS version at some point, I'm definitely going to keep that and sell this. But this is a decent version of the game. I originally aimed for the 360 version. They didn't have that version available, so they had this, and I was like, okay, I'll get the Wii version. They didn't have the 3DS version available either, so... Epic Mickey! This is a fun game. This is a very enjoyable game. I like a lot of aspects with it, but at the same time, I think the platforming's a bit iffy, and it's fairly difficult, especially later on. But I love the aspects of, like, you know, different outcomes will come up whenever you, you know, if you do separate abilities. I remember one time I felt really sad because the first boss in the game, for the longest time, I thought the only way to defeat it was use Thinner. So once I got done, he was like, oh, you know, like, just like, dying and stuff. And then it was like, Thinner pathway revealed, and I'm like, oh, no. I could have actually made him happy by, you know, made him a good guy? I didn't know that. But I really like that. I really like how you can choose. That was really downplayed in Epic Mickey 2. There's a lot of issues I have with Epic Mickey 2. A lot of issues, and it's why I sold it. I used to have it on Wii, and I sold it really recently. Because I have a lot of issues with that game. But this one's pretty cool. Really like that. I also really love Mickey Jump Mountain. That is just like my favorite stage in the entire game, and I love how they have NES carts of Mickey Mousecapade and SNES carts of Mickey Mania and stuff. That's like a really awesome touch. Fortune Street. I played a good amount of this. Yeah, I played a ton of this. I actually really enjoy Fortune Street. It's funny, though, I played on easy for the longest time, the easy play mode. And then my friend was like, hey, you should play on the normal game mode. It's actually not that confusing. So I thought it was really confusing. I booted up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not that confusing. So now I play on the normal game mode, and I never win. That's a big factor. I never win, but I love the stock market aspect and you know, raising up the prices on each year. But it's really cool. I like the advanced mechanics of it. You know, the easy mode is basically just Monopoly, but the normal mode is a lot more advanced, and it's kind of cool. Sometimes I actually prefer it to Monopoly if I'm in the mood for a more complicated board game. Generator Rex, Agent of Providence for $6. This was honestly a buy that I didn't really need to buy. The game is fun, don't get me wrong, but I should have just backed out and not bought it. It's one of those things where I had, you know, $6 available, and I should have waited because the 360 version's $10, and I feel like I should have just spent the extra $4. I used to have the 360 version when I used to have my older 360. Now I have a newer 360, you know, me and my selling. And I had that version. It was a good version. I liked the, you know, achievements, and the graphics look nice. So I got the Wii version, and yeah, it's definitely a downgrade. Graphics took a big hit. Frame rate kind of chugs at some points. But, you know, it's an enjoyable game. There's no real motion controls, which is nice. It's all button presses, but, yeah. Something that I do find funny on the back, though. Fight alongside Bobo Haha. He appears in one level. and fighting alongside, he's using huge quotation marks, because in the level you're driving and he's just shooting a gun, and that's it, and that's the only level where he appears in. So it's like very big quotation marks. Oh, and if you're wondering, no, I haven't seen a single episode of Generator X. I do like this game, though, and I do like the characters, so I do want to try out the show at some point, but yeah, I've never seen a single second of the show. Guitar Hero 3 for $20. I should have probably paid less for this. Don't get me wrong, this is a pretty darn good Guitar Hero game. There's a lot of good songs here. You get to play as Slash, so, you know, instantly 10. Hey, it's the guy from Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension. Now I gotta love it. But no, it is really, you know, a lot of good track lists with this. I like the storyline. Yeah, there is a storyline, and it's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good overall. Pretty good Guitar Hero game. Totally understandable how people say that is their favorite. I totally get it. It's not my favorite. My favorite's going to come up in a little bit, but totally understand it. Guitar Hero Aerosmith. So this was the first spin-off Guitar Hero game that they did. No, that's a lie. The first spin-off was Rock the 80s, I think. When did this come out? 2008. Yeah, so I think the first spin-off was Rock the 80s, but this is the other one. And this is Guitar Hero Aerosmith, and I really think this is cool. I used to have Guitar Hero Van Halen, and it seemed very corporate. It was like no style put into it at all. It had like just a terrible ending, just like this. It just seemed cobbled together to make a new Guitar Hero game, which is what a lot of these, you know, sequels do. This one, though, really feels like it was made with love. It goes chronologically from the band's history, and every single cutscene to build up the next area actually has interviews with the band members themselves, talking about, like, this was our experience there, you know, this was what was happening, stuff like that, and I'm like, that's really cool, something that, you know, takes it a little bit step above, and from what it says here, I mean, true, I don't know if it's entirely true, but, oh, where does it say? Where does it say this? I don't know where it says it, but, it says it somewhere, either on the back of the box, either on the back of the box, or somewhere else, but it actually says it has Aerosmith songs, and then the songs that aren't Aerosmith, they say were actually, either it's on the box, or it's in the manual, or it's in the game itself, but they say it was actually, the other songs were actually chosen by the band members as, like, these are songs that we really like that would be put in the game, which is really cool. Again, like, again, I don't know how true that is, but, you know, really great. It really feels like the creator, it really feels like Red Octane really did care about this game and really did want it to be as the best it can be. I bought it for $5, by the way, from what it says up there. Really cool, that one. Really, really cool. This is my favorite, Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. This is the last Guitar Hero ever to be released, Guitar Hero 6. And that's why nobody has heard of it, but please play it if you haven't. This game is incredible and insane. So, Guitar Hero 5, I used to have, it was extremely basic and extremely corporate. It very much felt like, we gotta make another Guitar Hero game, let's just ship it out. This one, though, maybe the designers knew that this was their final Guitar Hero game, because they put their all into it. It has got this stupid, insane storyline about, like, a rock god and a rock demon, and you have to, like, recruit rock demigods to fight for the power of rock, and it's like, it's so dumb, but it is the coolest freaking thing ever. It's dumb and, like, it, you know, it's cool in, like, a schlock way, I guess, you know, it's like, yeah, it's dumb, but you just can't help but, like, smile and just go along with it. And of course, it's actually got the of course. Well, it's actually got the entire album of 2112 by Rush, and it's actually narrated by the lead singer, which is actually really cool. It's like a really cool, and also over 90 rock songs, making it the biggest Guitar Hero set list of any Guitar Hero game, and it's got a great set list. Oh my gosh, at least for what I think. I mean, you know, you got Bat County from Avenged Sevenfold, Love Gun by Kiss, No Way Back by Foo Fighters, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Losing My Religion, Ghost, Seven Nation Army, Interstate Love Song, Black Rain. I mean, just an insanely good soundtrack. You know, this, I mean, seriously, if you're looking for a Guitar Hero game, please pick this one up, because this is the be-all, end-all of Guitar Hero games. They really put their all on this one, and it shows. It's an absolutely incredible game. But, of course, since it's Guitar Hero 6, not a lot of people played it, and not a lot of people know about it, which is a shame, because it's really good. Just Dance 3, it was $1. It was $1. I said, well, you know, maybe there might be some good songs here. I popped it in. Nothing sounded good, so I put it up. And I will sell it. I think the only songs I actually enjoy from this, there aren't a lot of songs. There's only like 20. They had This Is Halloween, which I like, and they had Take On Me, and that's literally it. Yeah, I used to have Just Dance 4 a while back, and I feel like that track list was better. But, you know, I don't know. I found it for $1, and I was like, why not? I like Michael Jackson, The Experience. I used to have that, and I enjoyed it, because it's all Michael Jackson, of course. But I was like, pick up Just Dance 3. Oh, it sucks. I do really need to get Just Dance 4, though, because I think that's the one that I played a long time ago on the Kinect, and I feel like the track list was pretty good on that one, but I could be wrong. Kirby's Epic Yarn, just absolutely fantastic game, just a really, really nice, relaxing platformer. This is the only game that I can say that whenever I defeat enemies, I genuinely feel sadness. Seriously, the Waddle Dees in this game... The Waddle Dees in this game, they'll like they try to hurt you, but they just fall over, and like they're like completely useless. But they're like, you're like, I don't want to hurt these guys. I just want to like you know, I just want to pat their head and like give them some chocolate cake or something. Like it's like every time I defeated an enemy, I'm like, no, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. It's like. It's great. But this is a really amazing game. It's absolutely fantastic. Really, really great. Really fantastic game. Really nice, super nice, relaxing platformer. Kirby's Return to Dreamland. This one is pretty darn good. I really do enjoy this. I think the only issue I have is it goes on for a little bit long. Which, same problem I have with Kirby Star Allies. It feels like it goes on for a little bit too long. But I think it super pays off because the final boss in this game is absolutely fantastic. Seriously, I was playing this last, and I actually was feeling the fatigue of Kirby. You know, the last world was just like, oh, come on, get it over with. But then the final boss is, like, super awesome. It's like 4 phases, but it's the coolest thing ever. And I'm like, all right, you have been redeemed, Kirby. So that's a really good game. Lego Batman 2. Originally, this is the Wii U version, but I like the Wii version more. So why is that? You may ask. Because the Wii version is definitely worse in graphical quality and crashes. This game crashes. Why? Nostalgia. This is the Lego Batman 2 I originally had with my Wii, and I played it a ton, and I enjoyed it a lot. So nostalgia is the main reason why I have sold my Wii U version. Actually, I haven't. I still have it. And well, I just used the box. Used the box for the Wii version. Just absolutely fantastic game. Definitely up there as like my top 10 favorite Lego games. Just a really, really, really great game. Maybe my top 5 favorite Lego games. It's a really, really good game. Really good. Hey, you want to hear what's not in my top 5? Lego Indiana Jones 2: The Adventure Continues. For $14.99. First off, this game is not that good. The changes that they did to the original trilogy to make it condensed to the point that it is really stupid. And the fact that every single world includes a driving level, which the driving levels have some of the worst driving controls I've ever played in a video game. That also sucks. And it's funny because John Burton, you know, creator of the channel Game Grumps, and Game Hut. He created Game Hut. Game Grumps. The posh British man. Hey, I'm Grump. No, no. He created Game Hut, and he also created Traveler's Tales. And someone asked him in a live stream that he did a while back. He live streamed a canceled Madagascar game, which was a pretty cool live stream. It was like this. It was this Madagascar party game that they developed and made some mini games for, but it eventually got canceled for whatever reason. And someone asked him, what was the Lego game that you felt wasn't needed and you felt just like didn't really lead up to what you expected? And he said it was Lego Indiana Jones 2. He said literally it was a situation of they wanted another Lego Indiana Jones game. We didn't really feel like making one, but they forced us to, so we decided to just roll with it. And what he said kind of puts a lot of context to the situation. Is he said, since we were forced to make it and didn't really want to make it, we made it a hodgepodge, and we threw a bunch of ideas out. This was like the idea game. So they add in a level creator in this game. They add in these short levels. They add in, like I said, a driving level where you have to like destroy other vehicles. They add in levels where it's literally just a boss fight and nothing else. They add in levels where it's literally just defeat 20 enemies and that's it. You know, it's a very hodgepodge game. And, I mean, for what they were out to accomplish, just to see, you know, throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, I guess it works. But as a video game, this game sucks. It's not a very good Lego game at all. It's definitely in my low tier Lego games, right next to the Lego Harry Potter games and the Lego Star Wars handheld games on the GBA. Just like a really bad Lego game. Definitely selling that. Lego Rock Band. This was a interesting moment in time. I wonder how the conversation with this became. What happened to this to make it be created? Lego Rock Band. So this was before Lego characters talked. So it's a rock band game with Lego characters, and it's really strange. The track list is alright. It's a lot of, like, songs that you would, more kid-friendly songs. But, that being said, this track list's pretty good. It's got Life is a Highway on it. I really love that song from, Cars. What else does it have? It has a Beatles song. I know that. And a Beatles song that I actually enjoy. And it's got a couple others. It's kind of hard to remember just right off the bat. It's been a while since I last played this. I think So What is on here from Pink. Don't quote me on that. It might not be, but that's a very weird song to choose. It probably isn't on here. Also, Here Comes the Sun. That's the Beatles song that I was thinking of. But yeah, it's got an alright track list. There's a good amount of good songs on there, and with how weird of a premise it is, a Lego rhythm game, I kind of just want to keep it for that alone. Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga in this good old Blockbuster case. This is a good game, but I have my issues with it. And my issues are a very hot opinion. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 in Lego form and in the Lego games, great. Episodes 4, 5, and 6 I have severe issues with, and here's my problem. So, they fixed this in later LEGO games, but in the original LEGO games, if you were building and somebody attacked you, you'd stop building. Um, and like a few pieces would fall off, so you'd have to like rebuild it. Um, Same thing for when you're using the force move. It's not that big of an issue in 1 through 3, but for some reason in episodes 4, 5, and 6, they throw so many enemies at you to the point where you're trying to build something and you're trying to force something into place, but you're constantly getting hit and constantly having to, okay, let me defeat these 5 enemies. Okay, let me try building this thing. Oh, wait, sorry, more enemies came in, so I gotta try and defeat these. And I'm like, it got to a point where I'm like, I'm done. I give up. This is one of the most infuriating things ever because I can't do anything without 20 enemies showing up. And it is just one of the most annoying things ever. Is it difficult? No, but it's just annoying and I don't want to have to deal with it. But at the same time, when I talk to people who like LEGO games a lot, they say they like LEGO Star Wars 2 the best, and that 4, 5, and 6 have the greatest levels of all time or something. So I guess I'm just a moron. Anyway, I'll be selling this version at some point. I already have a 360 digital copy, so I don't really need the Wii version. Especially since the 360 version is what I grew up with, so it's more nostalgic for me. But, yeah, that's kind of my opinions on it. Mario Kart Wii. Absolutely fantastic game. Really, really great. A lot of nostalgic stages to it. Tons of nostalgic stages. My favorite Mario Kart stage of all time is in here, Mushroom Gorge. I love Mushroom Gorge. Lots of good music, lots of good stages. Does it come close to Double Dash? No, it doesn't. I still think Mario Kart DS is better as well, but it's still a really good Mario Kart game. Hey, I'd take it over Mario Kart Super Circuit. I don't know if I'd take it over Mario Kart 8. I'd definitely take it over Mario Kart 7, so that's something. Mario Party 8, and a good old sun-faded copy. Yeah, this is a really weird, like, I don't know if you can really tell, but the title is totally sun-faded. I think these guys are supposed to be, like, a different color entirely. It's a really odd scenario. And it's only, like, here. Like, at the bottom, it's not sun-faded, and on the back, it's not sun-faded, and on the spine, it's not sun-faded, but it's only, like, only this part of the box. It's a very strange situation. I don't really know what happened with this box, what happened to the person who previously owned it. But Mario Party 8, it's a good Mario Party game. Really, really good. I've spent a lot of time on this. Of course, issues arise with how much motion controls is used. There's a lot of motion controls used. And the good old soda shaking minigame. Yeah, the soda shaking minigame. We all love that one, right? Where you have to just rapid fire shake it, and that's the only thing that happens in the minigame. Yeah, like I said, some of these are kind of basic, just, waggle a bunch and that's it. But it's still a really fun game, The minigames aren't the greatest in the series, but like I said, there's still a lot of stuff to love about that. Especially since one of my favorite boards is the Koopa board, where you have to put money into hotels, and, the hotels grow, and you can steal money from the hotels. And what's nice is that's actually an evolution of a Mario Party 7 board, where you have to put money into windmills, except this is, like, more in-depth. And I really like that. That's kind of a nice upgrade. Finally, for this floor, we have Mario Strikers Charge for $20. This game is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Seriously, this game's awesome. It's just super frantic, super arcadey soccer gameplay, and I'm not a soccer fan. But this game's so cool, just super arcadey. There's levels where you can, like, kick people off the stage and they fly into a vortex or something, and you have all these items and power shots, and it's such a freaking fun game. So awesome. I wish I had some friends to play it with, because this seems like a blast. But anyway, so... Yeah, oh no, the shelf's fine. Okay. So that's it for floor 2. So, yeah. Next time will be floor 3 and 4, and then the next shelf entirely. So, see you guys then.